Hi there. Just wanted to bring you along on my little project I've been working on for the last 2 days. It hasn't gotten very far because I do it after work, but here we go. This little unit here, point out here, is a £9,500 worn winch, but the electric motor, it was very damaged when I got it given to me, and the motor's always gotten quite hot. It pulled quite okay, but I mean the motor got quite warm, and the motors are about $400, so it's not worth me repairing it. So what I've done is I've pulled the motor apart, excuse me, and pulled off this, and then this motor armature here was on that shaft, and I pressed it off. And as you can see, I've pressed on myself a little pulley. So I've got the little pulley on pressed back onto the shaft, and you can see it's going to be I'll be able to just drive it with a belt. I have a pillar block bearing coming in the mail in the next day or two, so that'll support the back end of this shaft, so it has a little bit of wiggle, but that'll support the shaft. I'm going to put a belt on that and drive it with this, which is a Talon, spin it around, a Talon 55cc chainsaw, but the oil is damaged and you can no longer get parts for it. Well, not easily anyway, but I own a few still, so it doesn't matter. So what I did, I realised after some looking around in the shed that if you can see over in the distance, over here, where are we, there's a piece of pipe. That's a piece of 3-inch stainless steel pipe, and it just slipped over the clutch, which I'll put it in some more light. It just slipped over the clutch, so I slipped that over the clutch, and then I slipped a steel idler pulley off a car over that, and then tack welded it all together, and then miraculously everything fitted really well without no machining, nothing need doing to it. I've just put a couple of tack welds to hold it on, so that mounted to the clutch, so that's a clutch V pulley. And then as you can see here, I chopped down the brake. You can see I've chopped down the brake assembly, so here's the brake. You can see that I've cut that chunk out, so that bolts on or back onto there, and it bolts on a reduced cut down bar. So the idea is, get it back in position, that'll line up and everything will line back up like so. So I'll be able to get a belt on there. So now you can see I've just thrown the belt on, just had to use 2 hands, put down the camera and all that sort of stuff, and put the belt on. They'll have a pillar block bearing on that end, like I said. It'll have the belt, the little piece of bar, oops, sorry about that, a little piece of bar I'm going to weld on this bracket, here, which has a little cutout on this end here for the adjuster for the bar on the saw. So this is going down here in that front area. You can see it down in there. That's going to be welded onto that little piece of bar, and that'll have a few gussets in and across there just to support it nicely, and that's what's mainly going to hold the chainsaw to the actual unit. And you'll actually be able to adjust the belt by adjusting that chainsaw bar and tighten it up. And then down here on the floor, a little bit of checker plate alloy, which I'm going to make the belt guards for out of that. And then it's sitting on a piece of, if you can see, it's sitting on a piece of 3mm plate, and you can see I've got a hole marked out there, and just here I've got a little piece of like 4mm steel. It's going to go there on the end, and I've cut it that shape so I can weld all the way around it, make it nice and strong. Drill that hole out that it's marked on the plate, and that'll be the anchor point for the winch. The winch will be bolted down to this piece of plate. I'm going to build a little fair lead roller type thing for the front, just something very basic. But I noticed the other night, just over here, that's the fueler for the chainsaw, so the whole thing has to be flipped up 90 degrees to be able to put fuel in it. So I have to now put, it's nothing major, but I have to put a little piece of tubing of steel up here, like this is a leg, so when it stands up, it'll stand up quite okay, so you can put some fuel in it. But I have run it very briefly with the belt on it, and me and a mate just held it and just give it a quick run to see how it would pull, and how the winch would rotate, sorry. And it rotates it near enough to the same speed, if not probably a little bit quicker. But the true test will be when it's actually up and running, but it should pull, as a guess, I'd probably say 7,000 or 8,000 pound, but I can't really say until I actually put it on. But I'm really only want to use it for pulling logs and timber out of the bush, like you've seen on the Wrangler Star channel with the pole and chainsaw winch. So I didn't have the facilities to make one quite like that, but I think mine might turn out just a whisker better with a larger drum. Then I'm going to run probably 6mm or 4mm dynamo rope on it, probably 60-70 metres of cable or rope on that, and it should pull quite okay. But a little bit of welding, a little bit of bracket to go, and I'll bring you along for the ride, and we'll see how it all turns out. So until next time.